Hi folks, how's it going today? Good to virtually see you, and I hope that you're having a great day, and hopefully that we're right in November today, man. A time change, you should be just full of all kinds of power today to get that one extra hour of sleep sometimes. So I got something to share today. It's a story basically of my operation in July of this year. Earlier this year I was diagnosed with a hiatal hernia that got worse in June, and then I wanted to put it off, but then this is what the doctor said to me. He said, basically, this is your stomach. He holds it up like this. He said, this is your stomach, and then 2/3 of your stomach is pushed through your diaphragm muscle. It's ruptured. So what do you want us to do with that? And it was just obvious, that I had to have an operation. So I had my procedure, things went well, and then, I had to face the next step here, is a liquid-only diet for 2 days, and no caffeine or coffee of any time for 2 weeks. Then it was decaf only for 4 weeks after that, no solid foods for 4 weeks. 8 weeks before I could eat like a normal person. To me, this is fasting large. And then I came across bone broth, beef or chicken broth, and it's like that entered my life at that time. Beef, bone broth, and I think that's what the Vikings all drank back in the old days of bone broth. They get out there and the Vikings did that. So basically, I could only eat baby food, mashed stuff. So I was fasting because I had to eventually, I just had to eventually get through it. I did. But my first thoughts about fasting was, it's going to sound kind of bad, but give up fasting for fasting. How about that? So last week, I talked about what would you give up and for how long would you last in fasting, or how long would you choose to fast. I chose to give up time and use that time to dig deeper into Jesus's life, his fasting and his teachings. And I was just challenged recently to describe what giving up my time meant, and I was kind of made me think about things. Do you think that time is an asset or a liability? Is it a commodity? Can you buy time or sell time? How can you ration your time or God's time? And time, you look on the internet, you can buy time in all kinds of different venues. So just look on the internet. Pastor Todd had these amazing questions recently, and it follows like this. It says, and by the way, we are just so blessed in our church to have such great pastors. I mean, in the Spanish community and also in the English community. It's just amazing that our pastors are just wonderful people. And so, going back, but like Pastor Todd said, does giving up time for God mean you're giving up something else to spend more time with God? Does it mean you're adding more time to your studies and time with God when you're studying God, maybe through this fasting? Is it not really fasting since nothing has been taken away? Now, the other morning, I was pondering all this, and this happened. I call this a cookie story. And that's just basically a small thing here in this huge Christian theater of ideas and stuff. I'm talking about cookies. One morning, several years ago, I developed this habit, a long, ongoing habit of dunking and eating Keebler's Shortbread Pecan Sandies cookie. Say that 5 times in a row in my coffee. It was amazing, and I challenge you to try it. I mean, I was hooked from the very minute I dunked 4 of them each morning, and they're not that big, but every single morning for years I would have my cookies with my coffee. I cut back to 2 from 4 after my surgery as a weight thing, maybe that, to cut back on things. So I compromised with myself, and I just said, well, I'll just eat 3 from here on out. But a few mornings ago, I had 4 of them left in the cookie jar. So I went and, as I got them out, there was 1 left in the cookie jar. But, I just grabbed my 3 and sat down, read my devotions, and get into my fast track, fasting my time for God. And, all of a sudden, the 4th one, I just came to my mind. We're just sitting there, and all of a sudden, that 4th one, it's just like that cookie is talking to me. And then, it said, come and get me. Come get me and eat me. I think, well, that's the last cookie, and I'm 3 and that's number 4. It's like, I might just do that. So, I just think God was talking to me, and this I thought was wise to me. The whole incident came alive with this, an answer for fasting. Give up the cookies and connect with Him. So then, I told someone very dear to me about that. It's about maybe I should give up the cookies and stuff. And so she said, every morning when you're fasting from those cookies, ask God how to fill you with His love and meditate on that, to fill you, not with cookies, but with His love. And every morning since then I've done that, and it's awesome. It's a very awesome feeling that fills my heart every morning to do that. The bottom line here is that the cookies are so small in this theater of ideas, but it's huge in the message for us to fill yourself every morning with God's love. How awesome is that? If you have questions about God's love, remember, Jesus gave His life for us and you as He is an easy pathway into living again. To live again. How great is that? After you pass on from earth, let's live again. Why not? I invite you to come to the Greeley Vision Church or one near you and find out how simple it is to be filled with His love every morning. I guarantee you'll love it. So in Galatians, this is my closing, 5:22 to 23, it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things, there is no law. So thank you, folks, for joining me for this video. I hope to see and hear from you this week, and then we'll do this again next week. So I hope you have a great week and go from there. See you all later. Have a great day.